I'm joined now by Democratic Congresswoman from California, Judy Chu. So, Congressman, you were in the room for the meeting with President Biden and the Speaker today. What did you hear that significantly kind of moves the ball forward, changes the state of play on these two pieces of legislation?
Well, President Biden was more specific than ever about the framework. He talked about there being even more money for universal pre-K, $400 billion. He talked about child care being fully implemented in this at no more than 7% of a family's income, and about clean energy increases in terms of the amount devoted to it, $500 billion, as well as $150 billion to help with housing in this country. I was encouraged by what he said. We do want to know what the details are. And actually, what I do want to emphasize is that what he said was we need to get both bills passed. Mm-hmm. Some are saying he just said one bill. I want to be very, very clear because I was listening very carefully. He said it's so important to get both bills passed. And that is something that I'm taking to heart for sure, because this is the president's agenda. And it's very important and will be transformational for America.
My reporting is that he did say we need to get both bills passed, and that then Speaker Pelosi later said that the infrastructure bill needs to pass today. Are you a yes vote on the hard infrastructure bill if it comes to the floor today?
I am for having both bills passed, and I want to see the details of the framework. I believe that we can best get President Biden's agenda passed if we do both of those bills together and if we do it next week. I think it is important for us to make sure they are indeed tied together. Some may have more interest in one bill than the other. That is what concerns me. But also, we need to know the details, because actually that's been rolling around a lot. We need to know what exactly, for instance, is in the clean energy section of this. Mm-hmm. We need to know what form of Medicare expansion there will be. Actually, negotiation is still going on. So that is why I think we need to take these next few days to really get down to the specifics.
Well, you make such a good point. We're kind of using the word bill here a bit loosely. A framework is not a bill. You can't vote on a framework. You need legislative text here. I can't help but note you talk about negotiations still going on here. Josh Gottheimer, my last guest, talked about negotiations still being on his issue that he cares a great deal about, the state and local tax deductions. I wonder if you feel like the issue of paid family leave being out of this bill is in fact settled, and whether that's acceptable to you.
Actually, I don't think it's settled. And in fact, I asked Speaker Pelosi last night directly, is this out or not? And she said, we are still fighting for it. So we do not give up until the bill is being voted on. And I am hopeful that we can get something in there pertaining to it. Nonetheless, this bill is transformational in so many ways. I think it's going to really help American families. I just hope someday we can get this paid family leave done, because it's not right for us to be the only developed country in the world that does not have a national paid family leave program.
And if it's out of this bill, is that a deal breaker for you, or are the benefits of this bill outweigh the frustration of not being able to do family leave right now?
Oh my goodness, no, it's definitely not a deal breaker for me. This bill is transformational. It is $1.75 trillion worth of programs that will help American families, who will help them with their housing, with their home care. How about that? $150 billion for the elderly to be taken care of. And with that universal pre-K, that $400 billion, we are giving our young people the greatest chance in the world to have a good education and come out successfully, because all the studies show that the investment you put into those educational programs at age 3 or 4 pay off benefits for years to come.
For the last week or so, I've been saying I think this is going to become the pre-K plus bill. That does seem to be the element that the most members of your party are excited about when I talk to them. As we're sitting here talking, I mean, you're talking about elements that aren't settled like paid leave. Josh Gottheimer's talking about elements that aren't settled like the SALT deductions. That doesn't sound to me like a bill that would have text next week. What's the downside of voting on the bill that is done, is ready, is sitting on Speaker Pelosi's desk, and could be signed by the president on Air Force One today? Why not?
Because it is only half of this program. I am for the bipartisan infrastructure bill, of course. I do think we need to have a major infusion of funds for our roads and highways, which have been allowed to deteriorate so drastically in this country. But these bills have to be brought out together. We have the road and highways infrastructure, but we have the human infrastructure, and we have so much that needs to be done there. Actually, I have to tell you that 90% of the Build Back Better bill is written. So we can, with push, with more negotiation. Actually, I think it's negotiation that is taking more time than the bill writing itself. But if we can get both done, then I think we're in an excellent position to be able to pass both bills together and get President Biden's agenda done.
All right. Thank you, Congresswoman Chu. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you.